I'll be talking about the Madden 15 projection ratings for the San Diego Chargers. Start off with the quarterback, Phil Rivers, one of the top quarterbacks in the league. Not very fast. You don't really have any fast quarterbacks on the roster, so you're going to stick with Phil Rivers pretty much in anything you do, online, head-to-head, or franchise. It's really, you got a second-year quarterback and Kellen Clemens. Really nothing good behind them, or behind Phil Rivers. Let's go to the running backs. You got plenty of guys here to use. You got Danny Woodhead, Ryan Matthews. I think Ryan Matthews is probably going to be higher overall than Woodhead. I think Woodhead's going to be an 85. You got Don Brown from the Colts. You also got a rookie, Marion Grice. So it's really opinion who you want to use as your running back. The fastest is Don Brown, but it's one speed. I think you probably would go with Ryan Matthews, just more power. And if you're doing a franchise, you want to use a younger guy. Ryan Matthews isn't old or anything, so Marion Grice is the other option, really. No one's super old here, and no one has great speed, so it's really your opinion. I think you should just go with Ryan Matthews, though. So let's go to the fullback. John Phillips and Zach Boren. You don't got much again here. Probably you go with Boren because Phillips was more of a tight end when he was in Dallas. You can move back there if you want, but I would probably go with Boren. Younger guy, same speed. So I would just stay there. I would go with Boren there. Online, it's really opinion. Guess you go with Phillips. He's better overall. So you got Keenan Allen, Eddie Royal, and Malcolm Floyd. He's probably going to go down overall because he was injured. He got injured week 2 against Philadelphia. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he was out for the season after that. So he didn't play much. I don't think he's going to be an 81. And you have Vincent Brown and Achara Tutu. And you don't got much. You got some younger guys, but no great speed, so it's tough. I probably would stick with the top 3 guys because Vincent Brown is pretty slow. At least the game rates him that. So probably you would stick with what you have. You got Keenan Allen. You definitely want to start him. There's no reason not to. And Eddie Royal's the fastest guy here, so you probably want those top 2 definitely. And otherwise, maybe a franchise you want to use one of these 3 guys. I'm not saying any of them stick on the roster anyway when regular season starts, but if you start a franchise, you probably want to use maybe one of these guys. Probably Reese, just because he's faster, and it's not big overall difference between Vincent Brown. So let's go to tight end. You got Tony Gaines and Ladarius Green. You might start him over. I won't say he's a future Hall of Famer, but Tony Gaines probably will go in the Hall of Fame. He's close, but Ladarius Green is faster. It's not much of an overall difference. Plus, a franchise, you probably would start Green over him. He's just, he's one of those upcoming tight ends in the league. Was pretty decent last year. And, Gates is, coming down. He's getting older and older. And, some injuries have really hampered him. And even David Johnson, you can move the fullback if you ever want. A better option, I guess. He was a fullback with, his old team. So, let's go to, the lineman. You got Dunlap. And it's okay. You got a bunch of 82s. Right guard, you're kind of good. And Fluker, he might be higher overall than 80. Especially, I think, when we get to the end of the season, I think he'd probably be like a high 80, mid 80 around. A young player. He was a first round pick 2 years ago. So, then going to his second year, he'd be a pretty good right tackle for the Chargers. So left end, you got Rays. You don't got much here. Right end, you got Legion. Kind of underrated player. He's very strong. You're fine just leaving him. You could use Laws because he's younger, but you could move him to left end because you do have nothing great here, and No, they are kind of young. I mean, it's really opinion. Let's go to defense tackle. Nothing here again. You know, you don't got linemen. And then linebackers, you can also move them to end if you want. I'm not saying move Jared Johnson, but you got English. You got some other guys, a rookie. So you're kind of okay. I mean, Jared Johnson, he is going to his 12th season. So, you know, he's kind of old. He's going to be 33. So, I guess you can stick one, but I would probably start Jeremiah there, unless you want English. Online game, you probably would start English, and maybe you start him. But franchise, probably would start Atachu too, I think how to pronounce it. Let's go middle linebacker. Donald Butler, one pretty good middle linebacker, kind of underrated. You also got Teo. If you want a younger linebacker, probably a franchise, I would start Teo as the second guy. But he's not very fast. So maybe you want Connor. Probably just leave these guys. You're playing an online game. Let's go right outside linebacker. It's kind of tough because you got a former first-round pick, and then you also have Dwight Freeney. So, online game, you might just start Freeney, unless you want to move Freeney to an end. You could do that, and then have Ingram as your linebacker. If you want to, have a left end, you could do that. Because, you're okay. Or you can even move one of these guys to the left outside linebacker. You got plenty of options here to move one of these guys, because you're not going to have two right outside linebackers on the field. At least most plays you won't. Go to corners, you got Brand Flower. This is much improved secondary after last year. It's probably their weakness. I mean, now it's probably the defensive line looking at it. But see Flowers, and you got the first round pick, Jason Verrett there. So Sharice Wright and Rashard Marshall. Probably stick with these guys. Verrett's fast. You want these as your two guys. And then you might just want to leave it at the right there. And then you probably might just start this Butler right here, because he's the fastest. Unless you want another Cromartie. If you want to think of, the old Cromartie, who was a Charger probably almost 5 years. But let's go to free safety. Eric Weddle. You're going to start him. He's just 20 overall difference, 21. So I would probably just start Eric Weddle, even a franchise. It's really tough. This is opinion. It's just one speed. I mean, let's look at some of the coverage and tackling and stuff like that. Same here. I mean, there's more hit power. So, looking at it, this is tough. This is opinion. You want a more hit power guy, you go with Stuckey. If you want more of a coverage guy, you go with Gilchrist. So, let's go to kicker now. You got Novak. It's okay. It's not great because he doesn't have good kicking power. It's older too. And you got Mike Sheriff. He's been playing for a while. So, just leave it there. That's the San Diego Chargers. I'm going to think, when I'm going with these team records, I'm not really looking at their season, like their schedule or anything. I'm just looking at them as a team. So I might have a bunch of 10-16, but probably won't happen in real life. So don't, comment about like that. Thinking this team is going to go with 10-6. They were 8-8 last year, made the playoff. I think this is a much better Chargers team. I know they have the Broncos in division, and they also versus the NFC West. So I'm thinking 10-6. I think this could be a wild card team, and they could be in the running for a Super Bowl. This is, I put them with the Colts and Broncos, Patriots, even the Bengals, or even the Steelers or Ravens. Is a team that could make the Super Bowl. I don't know if they're going to win the division or not, but this team, if you're a Charger fan, you have some optimism going into the season. Overall, I think they're 85, 84 at the end of last year, so go with 85. Thanks for watching, and subscribe, like. Thank you for watching, and bye.